Lily.
They can't hear you.
Lily.
Sure.
Yeah.
So today we have the students from art and design here, and I am going to introduce their instructor and let her take over from there. So it's Lillian Schallenberger was a new hire of ours for this school year, and she started the art show, and we are very excited to have her as part of our ECTS faculty.
Hello. I'm gonna drag us all up.
Hello. My name is Lily Schallenberger. My students know me as Miss Lee, it's my middle name. So I'm a graduate of the same program I'm teaching now. I went to Fairview as well, but I've had my foot in most of the counties around here at one point in my life, so I feel like I'm as local as it gets. But I started teaching in November, and it has been so cool to be back here. We've done a lot of new stuff, and we've tried to get as much as we can out of the year, especially with my seniors. So Hannah and Cohen are two of my seniors. They put a lot of effort and help into getting the senior show running and getting everything up. Sorry, my level 2. So she is a junior this year. She is one of the best ones I have. And then Ray is one of my sophomores.
Hi.
So I'm gonna throw it to you two. Do you guys want to introduce your full names as well?
Sure. I'm Cohen Matzak. That area that keeps falling is mine. So how we made our stuff is we did academic portfolios, and then we took all of our works that we did over the years, whether it's any type of personal, and printed them all out and brought all like the original ones over, matted them, bleached all really quickly, and then we made our portfolios, and yeah, it was really cool how fast this whole idea was pulled together. We haven't done it in past years, so yeah, it was really cool. And Miss Lee was able to get some people from Penn West to come and look at the stuff, and I get to talk to some of the professors from there, and it was really cool meeting people and talking about my art.
I'm Hannah Devine. My stuff is the tall one at the end. That was really cool. There wasn't much time for it, so it was a lot of rushing. Miss Lee's great. She lets us stay after and work on a bunch of stuff. So, I don't know. The show went pretty well. I'm looking forward to coming to see it in the future because it's really good for networking and stuff. I brought some prints and sold a few of those, so that was good. I'm going to do some mural stuff in the future. I'm working with some local artists on that. I don't know what to say about it.
Okay, I'm M. Zarnecki. I go to General McLean as my homeschool. And I just wanted to say that I'm super proud of our seniors. As you can see, they've done so much throughout the years. And this event was very great for networking. And I think they just overall did a phenomenal job.
Hi, I'm Ray Skinner. I am a sophomore. I just started this year. This year, it was like coming in was a lot because we started with this new guy, didn't know what he was doing. Kind of got awkward and became a mess. But Miss Lee came and saved us. Love her. Like, she makes the room like, I don't know, she knows what's going on. As like a past student, I feel like she understands what we want more out of the program. I love you. Like I have like, ever since I've gotten into the program, whenever I'm like out, I'll bring my camera with me so I can take pictures in hopes that I can use it for the program. And I'll like make sure like I'll get inspiration. I've literally been doing like gesture drawings since I started the program. I've never done them before until this year. And I started doing gesture drawings of the people around me sitting and stuff because she introduced me to all of it. It's been a really, really great opportunity, and I love this program so much. Like, thank you.
Thanks, Ray. Can I do a little pop quiz for you guys real quick? So can you talk about the creative meetups that you've been going to?
Yeah. So apparently a bunch of local artists have these like monthly meetings they do, and it's just at a bunch of different like places throughout Erie. It's really good for networking. I've been going to them because I'm not planning on college or anything, but through that I got into some mural jobs right now, so that's good.
So just to highlight that, she took the initiative to go out on her own into a room of adult creative people who she's never met before and just socialize, which is kind of against our nature most of the time as artists. And she got a bunch of cool opportunities. She's working with muralists in Erie. She's working on an actual mural project right now that you could give the details better than I could. But you sought that all out yourself, which is awesome. Cohen, where are you going?
And Wes.
So there's 3 of the seniors who are going to Penn West, and it's a unique opportunity because the school has changed a little bit now that it's got the Penn West name, but for the most part, there's a lot that I can prep them towards and give them. And we have 2 of the design professors on the OAC board, and then another one came to visit for the show. So it's just awesome to get them all kind of talking to each other and inspired.
And also, I was kind of worried to go there because I wasn't sure of my future or anything like that. But Miss Lee went there and made me feel better about it and like gave advice on like that campus specifically and like how to just do like practical things there. And it really made me feel better about my decision.
Awesome. Do you want to talk about skills?
Of course. So, our program is involved with Skills USA a lot. There are a lot of different competitions offered for our art lab specifically, and plenty of opportunities that we can participate in. So there's advertising design, audio radio production, graphic imaging, photography, t-shirt design, which actually we designed t-shirts this year. So I think it would be a phenomenal choice to have some of our students participate in that, especially because, you know, we're clearly very good at it, you know. Television production, news video production, web design, digital cinema production. These opportunities for us are incredible because you can't just go out and search for design challenges, you know. It takes a while, and to have this opportunity to compete with other students and to see what we're really made of and how we compare to others, I think it's a really like good way for our lab to just go for it. The like skills that we can gain from these is also really important because I personally feel like there are a lot of things I can work on, and I know going to competitions like these could build my skills as maybe a photographer or an animator. I know they have a t-shirt design and enamel pin competition, and I think that would be wonderful because, you know, it's just stuff we're interested in for this lab.
So more than anything, what I've been trying to prove to them is that you can get a job in the design field, and in fact, it is not as limited as people tend to describe it as. I know the starving artist stereotype kind of continues on, but it's exciting as a teacher here because I can work with any other lab in this building and provide them things for their program. You know, posters, brochures, anything. It's pretty much connected to everything else in the world. So for them, they can get workplace experience and those skills from so many different opportunities, whether it be Skills USA or co-op or just doing work for the other instructors here. So I'm just excited to see what we can kind of branch out into over the years. Anything else from you guys?
It's been great so far.
Thank you for the opportunity as well.
Oh yeah.
Anybody participating in the art walk in Girard in June?
actually. I was looking into that. I did want to go. I was gonna see if I could get some friends to go with me. So hopefully.
Well, I'd like to personally thank you guys for all the art, because then we had signing day and everybody could see the art. Then we had the board meeting, everybody could see the art. And then, you know, Lily and her group helped us with taking all the pictures for signing day. So thank you for all your help this week. It's been a big week for you guys and
Yep.
in your department, but it's great to see these kids up here and hear what they're learning and see what they're learning. It's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are welcome to stay for the rest of our meeting, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. Perkins Improvement Plan.
This past month, we received our sanction letter. And the sanction letter, of course, is talking about the performance indicators. And again, we directly believe, like last year, we had a sanction letter about one of the performance indicators. It's a direct result of what we believe is the COVID-19 effect. And of course, Mr. Laverty, going to be his Perkins project and stuff like that, how to develop a plan, and we discussed it and we presented it. And so we'll let Matt talk about it a little bit here and go from there.
Sounds good. So our sanction letter had 3 different areas: Keystone Algebra, Keystone Literature, and then post-secondary credentials. That were not meeting the targets that we needed to meet at 90% of the levels they asked us to meet. So we're going to coordinate with the sending school districts and guidance counselors to get the list of students that were not successful in Keystone Algebra and Keystone Literature. And then we're going to use our math teacher to support some extra tutorial support and integration in the labs with some of the labs that they do on math, and try to connect the dots a little bit better for their strengths and weaknesses to help them on a retake down the road with Keystone Algebra or Keystone Literature. Our literacy coordinator, who is Lisa over there, is also going to work with all of our teachers then to do some literacy things within their labs that'll help on the Keystone Literature. That was the idea in our improvement plan for the Keystone side of things. With those Keystone tests, they test those at their own district, so we don't really have anything to do with them here, but we can do some things to help support the home districts there with the retesting and the improvement. The third one is the one that's most, applies to us the most, is the recognized post-secondary credentials. And this was on our letter last year, and the data is always 2 years behind, right? So it's kind of, as Mr. T there has explained it to me, it's always coming off of 2 years behind. So the work we did to improve in that area this year won't show up until next year's progress, right? So we're going to continue doing what we did last year, which was, pretty much go through every single one of our programs, work with the teachers to identify those recognized industry credentials that PDE has aligned to the different programs, and then determine the best industry credentials that fit within the curriculum models for each student, so that they're all obtaining as many as they possibly can for graduation. Each instructor is required to submit a plan for both the preparation and attainment of all the credentials that are going to be applicable in their program. That's pretty much where we're going with that one. And we've seen a marked increase this year in the number of credentials that the students are doing.
Questions on any of that?
The next thing on our agenda, of course, would be a health zip code change. And I'm going to have Sandy Carr address this, again, as the educational administration. With the retirement of our health instructor, we believe that we are now in good position to bring in a program of study. And Sandy will talk about those things for you to clear it up for you. Sandy, please.
So stand up here so I'm not talking this back. With hiring a new teacher, we were looking for the job description that goes along with the zip code that we currently have. And we found out that PDE doesn't even list that zip code anymore on their website. Long ago, before we had programs of study, we aligned to different zip codes for each one of our programs. And 5 of our programs are not aligned with what they call a program of study. For instance, one of them is cosmetology, and PDE has a task list, but they say it's not a program of study due to not being a family-sustaining wage, in that particular area. So there are several healthcare zip codes, and the one that we are aligned to has not had a program of study. And when we found out that it's not even listed on PDE's website, we took a look at the other health code zip codes that were there, and the one that most closely aligns with our curriculum, actually it aligns perfectly with our curriculum, is 510899, which is a health assisting rather than a nurse assisting zip code. So we've done the crosswalk. It is a program of study. The benefit for the students is, number one, they will have access to more statewide articulation agreements with this particular zip code than we currently have. And again, it is aligned with the state, so their task list, we don't have to have a locally developed task list. We really don't have to change the curriculum. I was talking with healthcare students yesterday, and they said one of the things they'd really like to do is have more clinical experiences. And this zip code, that's a very important part of it. So we're hoping that we can give them more experiences in the field with this as well. So that's the reason for the change. And again, just trying to stay up to date and aligned with what the state has to offer.
Yeah.
Any questions?
No, but a comment that after they take the course here, they can go right into EMT training, right, and they can get hired immediately. Anybody willing to do that kind of stuff? They like to hire people that they don't have to pay a lot of college, much money for. They got EMTs always, they're always looking for people down there.
I guess unfortunately for our zip code, it's really aligned with a nurse assisting, a very basic level. Most of our students in our health assistant program are already accepted to college, and they're going on, when my father was in the hospital, I ran into a student, he was graduating from UCOM in pharmacy. So her students, our healthcare students, they're unfortunately not going into that field, but they're learning the basic skills that they need to go into just about any medical
Well,
profession.
you said you graduate from high school, you can get a health field, you can get a job right away. And like you said, you can extend your education, and you don't have to go take over. You're not, especially if you're financially bound, you don't have to be worried about that. Yeah, I think all our classes are very fortunate.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I think health classes, like we're gonna do sports medicine, I mean, that was really a big draw on that. You strides in 1 year, how many people really jumped in our class? Pretty exciting.
Building renovation informational update.
Rick, would you like to address this?
Yeah, I can certainly get started. Last couple of weeks has certainly been a learning curve for myself. There's a lot of moving parts, as all of you guys know, having gone through building projects in your own districts. I think one of the missing pieces that Joe and I and Matt have worked on thoroughly throughout the past couple of weeks has been the communication systems between the architect, the engineer, and what's happening here on the ground within our different trades. So I think we've had a lot of success at this particular point. We are on schedule for that August 21st date. All of our foremen, as reported today, seem to be on track. There's no obstacles in their way to prevent us from meeting that deadline, at least as we sit here today. And we're just going to keep plugging away at it as we head into the summer.
Did we get the well lab moved, or
The Weldon,
well lab did get moved?
yes, still, yeah, Weldon Labs in the other
Yep,
building.
I knew we were moving out. I just-
Yep, I'll take care of
It wasn't moved, well, we can't open house.
it. Right.
Questions about anything? Do we want to look at the reports at all? I know I looked at them earlier, but
No, I
do
don't
we
have
want to do that
anything.
now? And anything new? Does anyone have any questions?
There's no change orders in there, it was just all the expenses, what we paid them, we can look at it if we want to.
Do we have any
I
questions?
don't know if there's any questions.
I don't know if
It's hard to read up there.
I know it, if I look at it, I can't memorize anything.
Good.
I look at stuff like the fast quit button, so like, yeah, that looks.
Where are we at with the getting proposals? I don't know what the proper name is for the new new cosmetology estimates, something a little more?
We just, Matt and I just looked at blueprints yesterday, just to make sure we could clean them up a little bit. And they are now gonna be forwarded, the new blueprints will be forwarded to the engineer, and then we'll start getting some costs thrown at us. So again, that's where we're at with that.
That's great.
So still to be determined.
Yep.
That was my highlight of our, we had a meeting, board meeting Monday, and that was my highlight, that we're trying to get the renovation for more cosmetologies. Nobody had any comments. I told him the man was there, so.
Okay, then my agenda says foundation meeting. Problem is, our president and vice president are both not here, is that correct?
Yes.
Does anybody know any different? So do you want me to run this meeting, or does somebody else want to run it?
I think you can find it. Take it.
I think it's him.
Yeah.
This is, it's so not complicated, we probably could have like one line item in our standard agenda to go with every department.
Separate board though. So let's call this meeting to order. And let's have a, what do we need? Roll call, please.
Mr. McManus?
Here.
Mr. Fortin?
Here.
Dr. Wise? Mr. Olsanian?
Here.
Ms. Frank? Mr. King?
Here.
Mr. Lindner?
Here.
Mr. Boyd? Mr. Ring?
Here.
Mr. Gilbert? Mr. Morby?
Here. So there's 7 of us, we just squeaked in, very good. So, meeting minutes from May 25th, no wait, that is that's today. Do we have minutes in there?
Yes.
Okay. March 23rd, there we go. So I'd like to, motion to approve those. Motion. Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Carries. New business, we got Erie Community Foundation Fund Distribution Memorandum. You want to talk about that?
Well, this is, the fund distribution that we can get from the Erie Community Foundation is up to $10,511. I think we have to decide whether we want to withdraw those funds or if we want a lesser amount. And I think that's up to the board to decide what they want, if they want me to pull anything or not pull anything at all.
Do we
Right
go
now-
to the financial reports and you show us where
Our
we're
cash,
at?
yeah,
Can we do that?
you can open the treasury report, please,
Yeah, we
Mike.
go backwards on this one.
Yeah.
Cause we don't,
Make it a little bit bigger.
how much we verify for, the scholarships?
Scholarships, you acknowledge $3,000.
Okay.
We'll share those names with you in June,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But that money will still be in here, so we got a member minus 3.
Right, 3,000 plus and we only can withdraw once a year, so we have to, 3,000 plus we have to have, see, for the Christmas stuff, so we have to know what we have here.
So our cash in hand as of April 23rd, in our PSLAB account, if you scroll down, please, Mike, you'll see we have $5,869. And in our Northwest savings account, we currently have $16,340.
So there's 16,000 on there?
Yeah, that's 5,000 in PSLAB. Keep scrolling.
See, she has 2.
Oh. So we're pretty good then.
So how much money do we spend in a year? We got scholarships, we have, the Christmas time we do something.
$1,000.
What other things?
We only have the insurance, we pay for the insurance
And the audit?
and the audit. And the audit is like 2,500, so we spend maybe like 15,000, I would think. 25, the scholarships 3, yeah, like more than that.
What was
So do you have a recommendation looking at it? Do you think we're okay with that withdrawing?
I do, I think we're okay with the 6, or maybe we should take like half of it, just so we have a cushion and, you know, in case something, but I don't think we need the entire 10,500.
Does the foundation help with any of the funding for the national technical honor society or something like that?
The Skills USA, if you recall, we used to come to you quite a bit for that money, Sam, especially if we had a national contestant. With the Perkins grant now, we are now able to put some funding into the Perkins grant for Skills USA travel. So probably for the last 2-3 years, we haven't, and we haven't, last year we took somebody to national, but we didn't ask for any money because Skills USA is also running, or had been running, the snack cart. And of course, that's changed a little bit and stuff like that, but we do have a healthy Skills USA fund still. So again, but we used to come for you, but right now, I don't see that projecting coming to you for a while and stuff, because they should be fine.
My only concern with taking money out right now is the market's not great, and if you pull money that's invested, you know, if I could tell you what the market would do tomorrow, it would be even better, but I can't. I just know when it's low, it's not a good time to pull. But
I would have to venture to say that it's not like we have to say, we're gonna take it out now. I would venture to say that if we saw 6 months from now, all right, we're gonna be a little short, then we could say, hey, we need to pull 5,000.
I don't think so,
Really?
because this is with Erie Community Foundation.
Sure.
Once a year, they tell us up to how much, and there's a window that we can take it or not take it.
They do have a window.
Yes, I don't know how long the window is. I don't think it's 6 months.
No, and I don't know, I don't know, I'll have to look into that to see how long, but I don't think
That-
it's,
that
like,
letter-
we usually
letter did
just
say.
do it,
I don't think the letter said, Steve.
no, it doesn't. It just said as soon as possible, let me know.
I don't know why that is, but it is.
I mean, I just give you, so a lot of times, you know, my company, we manage endowments and stuff like that. And a lot of times what we do is we provide a number. Here's our recommended amount that you can take out. And so that's what that looks like to me. But that doesn't, we never tell them that you have to take it out during this window. It's just this year, this is what
Okay.
you have available to take out of it without putting yourself in a negative position.
I don't know if they lock it up for a little while, and so that's why they do it. What do you think the market's gonna do? Do you pull money that's invested or not?
I think when the market's down, if you don't need it, leave it.
That's my gut.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got 21,000 in there in cash available.
Right. Only reason that, you know, potentially that money can also be used when the bulk of that money came from when we sold the property for the 911 center. That's its history. It came to the foundation, into the foundation to hold that money for future development of programs here. So we just invested in not knowing at the time what to do with Erie Community Foundation there. So they're holding that. So that would be the only thing is if there was something on the horizon that we need to do that. But that might require more than just the disbursement, which is in essence what this is. We could be looking at drawing a whole lot more if we've got it. But probably not in the next year because we've got some renovation money and already set aside for that. Anybody feel any different?
I think we should put 5,000 out, because we can put it in. We have opportunities, what kind of interest do we get on any of this? Anything, opening CDs or anything to those accounts?
The one we have for currently for the renovation, we get 4.28.
Yeah, but for like the foundation.
And in the foundation, I think
What's Pete's Law, whatever that's called, what do they pay?
that's the one we have.
So are we getting the same interest on that money?
No, not
Only the
what we have, only on
renovation.
that one, yeah, on that renovation money that we have aside. I can look into it to see if you guys want me to, we can do like the T-bills that we're doing, like the renovation.
Because that's not even locked up, that's only like a week
Like
to
it's
week or
weekly,
something.
right, that's weekly, so it just, it's interest weekly.
Would it put us, I mean, it doesn't say anything in the letter about a time frame. Would it be bad for us to go back to the foundation and ask them, you know, about the window and then?
You can come back in
Table it
June.
for
Yeah, absolutely. No problem, you come back and Jessica can give you the true information that you're looking for, what's the window, and then just table it till June.
Well, nobody's made a motion yet, so we don't have to do that. Does that sound all right there?
Yeah, I,
You're thinking a 5,000 draw, I think if we can make money, it wouldn't be the worst thing, but I'd be okay with leaving it too.
the market, I watch the market almost every day, and when you get my 401k, literally moves thousands of dollars every day, up or down, which I can't believe. And then last week, one bad news, dropped $2,000, $5,000, like that.
Right.
And literally in the same day, so, but it was creeping up, and then, in one 15-minute news break, it drops. So, I predicted the market is just basically going over to casino.
We'll wait till June and see what the casino's doing then.
Yeah, right.
So, audit engagement letter.
Well, we're going back to the previous ones, do we just table that, is that what?
Well, nobody made a motion, so
It just
we're just
stays.
gonna skip and keep going.
Okay,
We'll just put a note of that, you know, foundation wants to wait until
okay.
June, and if you find out that information for us, that'll be good.
Mhm.
'Cause
Yep,
we're gonna have
I
a
will.
meeting anyways to talk about the scholarship recipients, right?
Yes.
That's right.
We'll be having scholarships up next week, okay?
Correct.
They will, we don't like to announce it, Dennis, just for the
Right,
fact.
right.
Yeah, but we'll announce the names
Yeah, I know
too.
exactly, that's what they did last time. Maybe people won't know. Okay, thanks, okay, I was making sure, you know.
Yep. Audit engagement letter.
That's for the 22-23 school year, that's just our audit engagement letter, the rate, I think, is 2,000. You can you scroll up, please, Mike? 2,250 or 150? I'll keep going. Oh, it's right there, yep, 2,250 for the foundation audit.
We can't ask them to revisit that fee, can we?
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Back when we had the Career Street, that made sense, because there was a lot of moving parts, but there's not a lot of moving parts there. I know our auditors do our school district, and they do our foundation too for less than $1,000.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can ask them and see if we can get that. We'll do that
So,
Two things to do.
Can we hire
Yeah,
districts off here?
yeah, especially if we move everything, but,
I mean, maybe it's time to re-quote it if the
right.
numbers are not as competitive as we think they should be.
Let's ask that, and again, we still have a June meeting. I don't think we have to move on this right away either, do we?
No.
Let's see if they'll come back and give us another
Okay.
more favorable.
Can we ask if they don't want to move, that we solicit or have some
She
other
can check around.
competition?
Because it's foundation, we don't even have to go out for bid or whatever it is. For the foundation, we wouldn't have to, if we're not talking about this, the tech school itself. But it makes the most sense to have the same people doing it, but we could probably shop.
Okay.
Yeah, it is kind of high for now, but government will compare.
5 years ago, no
Yeah,
problem, but
Right,
now,
yeah, now we're doing three little things, basically.
anything else on the financial reports you wanna?
No, just the balances that you did see. In the treasurer's report.
Anything else we need to talk about in the foundation meeting? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, hold on, withdraw that
I'll
motion.
withdraw that.
I missed the filing of the reports. Approve the financial reports through April of 2023. You wanna move that
I'll
one?
make a motion to move that forward.
Great, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
So moved. Moved and second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thanks, Joe. Now
Motion
adjourn.
to adjourn, Linda?
Is there a second?
Second.
Great. Oh, hi, Terry, snuck in. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next meeting next month.
If we didn't have a meeting next month, I would be worried about it, but now. We used to have a meeting every month, and we didn't have a meeting. I don't know how this meeting got in, that's what
It's quarterly, but I think
we've had like
it's the
three,
business,
we've
so.
already had
I asked to start putting them on the agenda, Dennis, because just for the fact that we miss sometimes things that we want to talk about, like the scholarship or something like that, or the Christmas card, so we just thought if we keep it on there, it could get quick in and out.
Okay, that's fine.
So now we have executive session, personnel and safety and security. So let's take a jump now.
All got in time, executive session, there might be
fit within those?
Yeah, I forget exactly.
I used to change them when they come over, because like some things just didn't fit what I did, transitions on the.
Right, school's gonna be open.
You can do whatever you want, you can rent, you can suggest a table.
There's no way to make a YouTube video available.
Oh, you got, you can do it.
It's on, will we download a YouTube video? Is there? If I could do some.
Oh.
We don't want you to stay that long.
What? That was really strange for the electric
They're still around. They're
Wow. I was just suggesting something about our chairs, but they want us to stay on these hard chairs so we don't stay too long. Hey, good evening, everybody. Let's call this meeting to order and have a moment of reflection. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. McManus,
Present.
Mr. Gordon,
Present.
Mr. Wise, Mr. Rosanna,
Here.
Ms. Frank.
Here.
Mr. King,
Here.
Mr. Lindner,
Here.
Mr. Boyd, Mr. Ring,
Here.
Mr. Gilbert, Mr. Morgan.
Here. Amendment approval, we have one amendment, and that is for the security and safety measures report approval. Is there any other amendments? Somebody like to motion that?
So moved.
More by second.
Moved and second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Takes us to meeting minutes. April 27th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and second, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. I will note right now that we did have an executive session just prior to this meeting for the purposes of personnel and for security and safety plan discussion. Student accomplishment highlights. Is there anything more on that? We had that earlier. Very good. Guest and public comment. Anybody like to address the board?
How's everybody tonight?
All right.
Well, I told you the last time I was here, I wasn't sure if you'd see me again after the union elections, but you're stuck with me for a further 2 years, so I apologize. But we've crafted a letter as a union and just wanted to bring up some data points and some things for you guys to review in regards to the cosmetology lab. I know after speaking with Mr. T that it's just going up the chain right now to the architects, and you guys are still doing a lot of cost analysis and really looking at this thing logistically. And we wanted to provide some data points and some legalities that we had found, and then this letter that I'm about to read represents the feeling of the unit. This was created, with a little bit of a committee, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read from this, and then I have copies for all of you that I'll pass out afterwards, if that's fine. So we wanted to let you know that we fully support and implement new and women-led programs here at the Erie County Technical School, recognizing the importance of providing diverse educational opportunities. Excuse me. While we acknowledge that the cosmetology program is currently valuable, we also understand concerns regarding its capacity to meet the high demand for enrollment. Even if the program were to double in size, it would still be unable to meet the needs of all interested students, lending disappointment and exclusion for many still. The issue highlights the necessity of proactive planning and foresight in developing the educational initiative. So the addition of the cosmetology program feels like it should or could have been integrated from the onset of the project, and we feel it's essential for such endeavors to be included in that original scope of work and receive the same level of attention and resources as other areas such as the new culinary wing. While the cosmetology program holds potential, it should not be prioritized at the expense of addressing some critical aspects of the renovation that remain unresolved. For example, the lack of windows between some labs and some classes, there's a few locks we're still missing. We just feel that there's a number of issues that are still unresolved and could use the contingency funds. And we just have some concerns about student safety and potential misuse of some spaces that aren't properly quarantined. The issues should not be overlooked or disregarded. They could significantly impact and affect the learning environments. In making decisions about allocating resources, it's crucial to consider the community's long-term growth and evolving needs. Although a group may be passionate about expediting the implementation of the culinary program under certain circumstances, it's vital to listen to the perspectives of the frontline employees who directly interact with the ECTS students in the classrooms and are actively involved in the community and the industries in which we teach. Our insights and expertise can provide valuable guidance on how to best meet the demands of the students and align educational initiatives with the community's interests. So, in summary, while we support introducing new programs at the Erie County Technical School, it's important to address the limitations of the current cosmetology program and ensure all aspects of the reservation project are given appropriate attention. By incorporating proactive planning, considering the concerns of the frontline employees, and prioritizing the holistic development of the school, we can create an educational environment that meets the needs of the students, supports their aspirations, and focuses a strong connection in the community. In short, we've spent nearly $40 million looking towards the future, and please provide us with the opportunity to embrace what the future might bring by allowing those open spaces to grow with the community in the future. So I'll pass one of these out to all of you, and I think there's a couple more people that wanted to speak. So thank you.
Thank you.
So hello everyone, I'm Darlene Newell, I'm a cosmetology teacher, and boy, is cosmetology a hot topic tonight, as well as previous meetings. So what Jeff is going to pass out to you is in the so as a sophomore coming in, first quarter, we teach them state law. So this is what I'm going to kind of review if this, in the to be determined phase that you guys are in, waiting for estimates to come back to see what the projected cost is. I just wanted to run through some of these laws of what makes up our program. And it's the Licensure and Administration of Schools of Cosmetology. So I've included the link underneath that title once you get your paperwork, so that you can go on and research yourself. So as Joe has, we've consulted quite a bit, and if this does go through, this is just some of the concerns that I have. And maybe the questions can't be answered at this point, but it's just worthy of thought. So in 7.11, application for school license, a sketch plan showing the layout of the school, including the location of classrooms, offices, and laboratories, and position of all floor equipment. So that would have to be pre-established prior to having an inspector come in. The name, signature, and license number of the school supervisor, together with that proof the supervisor meets the following qualifications. So my question is, whose license number would go on that new lab? Would that be the cosmetology supervisor? So I'm currently the cosmetology supervisor that signs my name on students' transcripts for licensure, as well as anything with the students working off of my license. So we have a separate lab license as well as my license. So my license is what the students learn through cosmetology of what I teach them. That enables me to teach them that because of that license. So here's for the current, if this goes through, The second lab, for that cosmetology teacher would have to have done one of the following: acquired 2,500 hours of satisfactory experience as a cosmetology teacher, and 1,250 hours of experience as a cosmetology teacher, and 1,800 hours of experience. So that has to be in place in order for that teacher to have that qualification to become a cosmetology supervisor, meaning maintaining classroom control, everything that goes along with maintaining a classroom and its safety. So coming down to the very bottom of the page, B, a school license will not be issued until the board has verified the sworn statements made by the owner applicant of the license application, and the school has been inspected by a bureau inspector. So what that means is we've had our license for our space since 1967, so that's 56 years. That space that I'm currently in, teaching the students and the seniors receiving licensure for that many years. That's a long time. So in order to add another program, I don't know if we've, Joe, have you thought about this? And I know you talked to Mr. Best. So I don't know if that has to be issued another license for that space, or if it would be something that could be grandfathered in. However, I feel like you'd need the new license for both labs then. So if it's one and the same, so currently that license that I have now, that I put on every state board license, that for licensure for the seniors to take their license, is the lab license of ECTS. So what does that mean for the second lab coming in? Do they have to have their own license, or are we gonna have to dissolve that license in order to have 2 labs on the same license? Still needing 2 instructors because state law says 25 students for 1 instructor. Okay, going to 7.113, inspection of the school. Much like I did, this kind of just gives you the price point of the change of school, the cosmetology school, inspection required. Currently it's $125, as of June 2024, it'll be $131. So the accreditation comes in here too. I'm not sure how it works with PDE for our accreditation company, but the accreditation also has to approve that second location as well. And then the biannual renewal down there, below that is cosmetology license of $300, $315 after June of 2024. So again, I'm just giving you the details of what needs to happen. As a former director of Tonangai, moving the downtown academy up to the uptown academy where it currently is now at Mill Creek Mall, we had to go through all these protocols of what is mandated by the state board. So I'm really here just to kind of make you think about the state law side of it, in addition to, if you turn to the next page, of how our curriculum is comprised of. Everything I do in my lab is not only to ECS standards, but also state board mandated. So this is why we do what we do for the 1,250 hours, and that's how it is accrued for the seniors. Well, for all the students for the 3 years, and then now with my seniors being licensed before they walk across graduation stage is quite an accomplishment for me. So it's merely for an enlightenment of what, why we do what we do, and just to kind of make you think about the law side of things, because the sophomores do learn this. We revisit it every year because this is part of their state board licensure. So.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for your time.
Hello, I'm Elena. I am a sports therapy and exercise science instructor, so I'm actually one of the newest instructors with the newest program. So I kind of have some statistics, because I know Terry had made it a point to say that we don't really have a lot of female-led labs, so I'm just gonna kind of share some stuff that we found. So currently we have 764 students. Of those, 294 of them are female, which brings our total to about 38% of our population. Looking at next year, we actually have increased our enrollment pretty significantly, up to 880 students. 350 of those are female, so we're adding an additional 56 female students. That increases our total female population to 39%. This is actually on par for the average in Pennsylvania, and is actually significantly above the national average for CTE. The national average for CTE concentrators, which is meaning they are spending at least 2 years in a CTE program, 33% is the average female statistic. So we are well above that, which is a pretty cool accomplishment. Currently, we have 3 labs that are considered female-led in industry, which is only about 21%. Again, on par for what the says. It's cosmetology, early childhood education, health assistant, which is now going to change a little bit terminology-wise, but still going to be a female-led in industry, and then tourism and hospitality. Something that was not really considered with that is we actually have 4 other programs that are in our school, Erie County Technical School, predominantly female. Art and design for business this year is 28 females to 14 males. Culinary arts is 35 females to 23 males. Graphic arts is 18 females to 17 male. And then my program as well, sports therapy and exercise science, is 15 female to 6 male. When we look at the upcoming enrollment, again, it is a significant increase. And those 4 programs that I just stated, again, are consistently going to be female driven. So my program is going up to 23 female and 14 male. Graphic arts and media will be 26 female and 20 male. Culinary arts will be 48 females and 20 male, and then art and design for business will be 27 female and 17 male. So we are continuing to bring females into the school, which is awesome. Something else that I think is very important is our leadership class actually brainstormed some ideas for potential labs, since we did have the original plan to have 2 extra spaces to bring new labs in. The top 3 that they had brainstormed were a veterinary technician, which is actually 77.3% female-led in industry, and out of, there's a little bit of a correction, so the fun fact there, 51 of the waitlisted cosmetology students, that is what was on the previous wait list, 35 of those would have picked vet tech over the cosmetology lab, which is 69%. So that would have dropped that wait list significantly if that program was enacted, so that is something kind of interesting. Business and marketing is 38% female, and criminal justice, which is not technically a CTE program, but I know that previously, several years ago, EMT, police and firefighter program is something that was discussed. I know Mr. Rand kind of said that's a great start, and EMTs are very highly needed, and I think that would bring a lot of female attention as well. It is a good wage and little to no post-secondary requirements. Other options to improve and strengthen just our women-led programs, not only that are industry women-led, but are women-led at ECTS. We could bring up the industry certification for early childhood development, getting a CDA certification. Specific marketing just towards those women whenever we go out and do enrollment things. And then bringing guest speakers and activities for those sending schools. So trying to really just amp up that female population. Possible seats if we do bring in 2 new programs, which again, I think it's a great idea to try to increase, especially our community, whatever is going to help that and give us the best community need. Possible 8 seats per district, and if we bring in 2 new programs into those spaces, whereas if we open a second cosmetology lab, it's only going to allow 4 per district. My program in particular was kind of marketed as a new program and is, new, state-of-the-art, brand new space. I just feel that it's kind of wasteful to tear that up. I have kind of a sentiment to it, especially with my students. We spent the first 6 weeks of school kind of unpacking and making it our own, so that's kind of like our little home. And I think it's kind of gonna be a little bit of a challenge if we have to go back to those parents and say, hey, gotta pack that space back up, and I'm gonna lose some curriculum time based on that. So just some things to think about. I think it's super important to keep our options open. I love the idea of bringing in more female-driven labs that are gonna benefit our community as a whole. And that just opens up more co-op opportunities down the road as well, looking at those different programs. That is all I have. If there's any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to address the board? All right. Important items coming to ECTS.
Just again, our senior award ceremony is next Wednesday. Okay, and that's May 31st. Again, it's 3 sessions. So again, as Dennis mentioned, come to all 3, it's 3 hours or so. But again, it'd be a nice evening. And we can't break it up per district, as I've told you and the superintendent. It just wouldn't be functional. Okay. All right. So again, you're more than welcome. That's
4 o'clock.
Fort LaBeouf High School, absolutely. And I do want to thank Mr. Emmerich. It's just been so awesome.
Dennis
Any PR you can get.
Yes,
Dennis had asked. I was trying to put a plug out there for Fort LaBeouf.
Nothing wrong with that.
I want to make sure everyone's going to go.
takes us to operations. What I have here, I have the holiday schedule A, B is pay dates, C is resolution E signature, E grants, Perkins improvement plan we talked about earlier, donations, we've got the SIP code change, the audit engagement letter. Do we want to
Do you want me to look into that one too?
remove that? What do you guys think? Want to remove that like we did with the foundation?
Yeah, so I think that one.
Right. So let's remove G from this list. H is curriculum development hours. I is IT summer season help. And then I had put in here J is the security and safety measures approval. So K would be the approval of all the operations section except for G, with the addition of J. Somebody like to move that?
I'll just so move.
Thank you, Terry.
I got you back, second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Did you get all that, Jess?
Yes.
Okay, good. New financial items, business manager report.
Okay, so as of April 30th, 2023, our general fund cash balances and investment accounts has $2,507,124.41. Our capital projects funds have $8,926,403.61. Student activities, $8,443.86. And the flexible spending account has $4,796.07. In our general fund, we have received 88% of our budgeted revenues and expend 84% of our expenses, with the change of fund balance of $232,292. And I just wanted to give you a quick update too on our renovation money. We do have, I still have $7.5 million from that money I received from the districts. So I won't be invoicing them maybe until July or August, but there's still 7.5 there to pay for what? Yeah, there's still like $2 million that they have to pay, but I won't invoice it until it gets over.
If a district wanted to pay that before the end of the fiscal year, they
Yes.
could do that. They
And
cannot.
one did, Iroquois made payment, they said, I just want to get it done and out of the way, so they paid it, but everybody else held on to their money.
And you mentioned before, but why don't you talk about, because we talked about the, CDs and that type of thing. You want to tell what we're doing with the?
Yes, we have the T-bills, we have a T-bill with a flexible account, and there we have an interest of 4.28%, I believe, so we've made like 140,000 so far since we started this back at the end of December.
So in that, we can transact on weekly, you don't have
It's
to
a
lock it up for
weekly, yes.
5 months or 3 months or 9 months or anything. So it's worked out well. Any other questions? Did you have a treasurer's report or anything else there to go over?
No, that's just the balances, that's the running balances on our account.
So G is approval of all things financial. Somebody like to move that? Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. Number 9, administrative services and human resources. Nothing verbal? Okay. So we have resignations, we have hiring and subs, and we have some policies, both some first readings and some second readings. So E is the moving all of those items.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on any of that? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Ring. I just have one item this evening, and on behalf of the superintendents involved in our consortium here, we want to thank Mr. Tarasovich for his commitment and dedication to his role as director here over the past 2 years now, Joe. Joe came in here, as you guys know, in a very tough spot. We had a pending project, and then carrying out that project through some pretty turbulent waters here on the front end. We can't thank him enough. We couldn't be more pleased as a group of superintendents and how well Joe has done and what he's committed to this building over his years, not just as director, but as the principal of this building as well. So I wanted to take a moment to do that. That's all I have, Mr. Ring.
Thank you, Joe. I think we can clap for that, Joe. Okay, director's report, one last time.
One last time, yeah. Dinner instructor with the instructor event was very successful. Not as good as last year, and we had a beautiful evening, but again, last year was a little bit more successful. As you can see in here, we had about 58 responses rate to the RSVP. But I did want to publicly thank Dennis. Dennis came that evening, and I know Matt and I were out back directing traffic. Dennis is out front directing traffic. So Dennis, we really do appreciate that. Thank you. The employee of the month was Amanda Brown. She's an instructional aide. Very, very good here, but she really went above and beyond because our 2 auto tech teachers are brand new. And when we got to that NOCTI practical test, she really picked up the ball and really supported Sandy Carr on that. So again, that's part of the reason why she was the employee of the month for April. So again, she did a wonderful job. As you know, I mentioned earlier, we did have our Perkins and stakeholder meeting with our local advisory. Those are mandatory. Matt and I are actually working on the Perkins grant. That grant for next year was $378,905, I think. Am I right on that, Matt? Yeah, so it was an increase from last year. So that is good news for us and stuff like that. And with after that meeting, we almost got to put in that 10% greater wish list that I had to present. So again, we're pretty excited. It was about $6,000 less than the wish list. So that'll be nice. But again, for you, that grant's so important because that 63% of it goes to hire our instructional aides. If we didn't have that grant, I know we'd be questioning, hey, where are we going to get that funding? But these instructional aides here are so valuable to us here at this tech school. So again, I just want to bring that to your attention. Our NOCTI test results, you have a copy of those, just to review those for yourself with the district results. And I thank you for everything you've done for me here over 15 years, and I appreciate it. That's my report. Thank you.
Mr. Laverde, what's your title again? I forgot.
Interim employee.
Okay.
That means I'm short term, right? Hopefully not. No, my report, I just reported on some of the advocacy situations that I was involved in. I was involved in kind of before I came and was able to continue to do those things representing Erie County Tech School. The Northwest Summit and Superintendent Group takes a trip down to Harrisburg every year to meet and advocate for our region, so that down there at the state level, they don't think that the western border is State College of Pennsylvania is kind of our running joke. But we went down, Shane Murray from Iroquois was there, Brad Whitman from IU 5 was there, and we met with quite a few legislators that day. We kind of break up and hit as many as we can within that day. It was very, very, very productive, and the main talking points are always that state funding of mandates, cyber charter funding, and of course, basic ed, and then of course the staffing shortages is a big discussion right now at the state level. There was a shortage before COVID, and now it's only accelerated that. Was invited to participate in an interesting roundtable about U.S. competitiveness with a think tank out of DC that they were kind of in the Pittsburgh area. But my work with the PA Roll Robotics Group that we started, that Fairview I know is connected with the Innovation Institute, the PA Roll Robotics Group pretty heavily, and some other school districts up here as well. It was really about the global market and workforce development and the future needs of the region, and policymakers out of DC, and I go back to, like, I guess, keep it simple, right? They got all these policies and they're putting all these layers into things, and go back to the simple thing like driver's education in schools. Like I sat there and that was one of my big points. Like that is an employability skill. If they can't drive to get to work, they can't be employed. So, you wanna fund something that's gonna have an immediate impact in 2 or 3 years, fund that driver's ed to be put mandatory back into schools, things like that. It was interesting because I was the only K-12 education person in the room. They had a lot of higher eds there. And, I think they all sit there and talk about innovation and the money and the workflow and policy with Build Back Better, but they're not addressing like that skilled level of trade coming right out of school. And every single one of the employers and industry partners were in there like, we just can't find people, we can't find people. So I think the work that we do here at Erie County Tech School and the other tech schools in the state is so very valuable to that workforce and economic development and innovation in our country to stay competitive. So it was an interesting situation to be down there and hear those discussions. We took a group of students to the Rotary Ethics Symposium. I enjoyed that day and going over there and spending some time, and then just learning the ropes here. I've been doing one-on-ones with a lot of staff members to learn about who they are and what makes them tick, and continuous improvement's always the goal. So I always ask about, hey, what about your program, and what about the school, and so forth. And I was kind of lucky to fill in on the struggles to strength, a couple presentations there with the different labs, and cover that lesson when the county connection Premier Education was able to cover it. And so in doing that, I got to meet some of the students and spend some time with them, and I pulled out Positive Patrick, because when I go in the labs, if you give me one thing that describes a character trait or something you're proud of about each one of you, as we did introductions and did a little icebreaker, and there's Patrick there, he just said, I'm positive. And I said, well, that is a positive trait about you, that you're positive. And we had some fun, but every day now, I get to high-five Patrick in the hallway, and he's a super friendly young man out of Harbor Creek that just has an infectious smile. So that's it for my report.
Thank you. Solicitor's report.
There is none.
Look at that. Principal's report.
No report.
Woo-hoo.
So that takes us to the approval of the report section. E.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Got supplemental reports. I don't think there's anything there that we can move on. Will, Mike, can you go and pull up the correspondence there? I don't know if everybody saw this when they were going through their notes or not, but I wanted to draw attention to that. And I can't read it, but I don't know if somebody,
I've got it here, Sam.
you wanna read it?
I sure can. The first one came from Major Nygaard from Mill Creek, RF, the junior ROTC. Lillian Schellenberger is a teacher of this student here, but they wanted to talk about Logan Bailey. Good afternoon. This letter is to serve as the highest commendation for one of the current students at ECTS, Logan Bailey. Logan was a cadet of mine last year in McDowell's Air Force Junior ROTC program. During that time, he distinguished himself as an eager learner, a polite student, and a sincere young man. Recently, he displayed all those qualities and have only grown stronger since last year. On Wednesday, the 10th May of 2023, McDowell held an annual end-of-the-year award ceremony known as the Superintendent's Review. It is our biggest night of the year and is complicated to pull off, and to put in lightly. Out of nowhere, Logan showed up during our practice and beforehand and immediately volunteered to help with setup, logistics, and everything else necessary to execute, including serving us as our awards runner during the ceremony itself, which was a 2-hour ceremony. He stuck around to help with the tear down and didn't leave until at least 9:30. In all, Logan probably gave us 8 hours of time on the spot without prior requests from us, and at the end, he proved indispensable as our actual help never showed. While I praised him during the ceremony, at the end of his help in the front of the crowd, I presented this letter to you so that you can offer a well-deserved attaboy from your end. The letter also serves as a proof of 8 hours of community service for our records, should he need any such proof. So again, I can't get the gist of that, but it was very, very unique to get this. And I commended Major Nygaard for sending this to us. It's just something that we did want to see. Okay? The second one, as Sam wanted to bring out to you, okay, this came from a parent. And again, I received a lot of things from parents, but this one here, I mean, no, but I mean, positive things from parents. I guess I should have put that adjective. I receive a lot of positive things, but this one really, really was just wonderful. This young lady is going to be graduating this year. She's terrific. She is really what the Erie County Technical School is all about. And again, Marcy, I enjoyed her here. She was a non-traditional student in facility maintenance, and she really didn't let the boys ever bother her. She just did her job and all that. So again, I just wanted to share this letter with you. I think you can read that pretty well and stuff. So, and again, she is going to the Maritime Academy, so which is a nice feather in our cap. That's a pretty prestigious school out there on the coast.
It's kind of nice to get good correspondence once in a while, even some good things about McDowell, see?
See, that's, and Marcy is a McDowell student and stuff, so it's two McDowell students.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, 2 in one night there.
See, thank you for your contribution towards our building. Good things are happening.
Never gonna do that. Take a couple decades.
Our next meeting is June 22nd. Is there anything else that we need to bring up for the good of the order? No, we've got 15 adjournment there.
Some of it. I like them just looking at that stuff.
We didn't know what we were gonna do earlier when you weren't here, but.
We were lost without
Just
you.
long pause.
We waited.
Aye. Thank you all very much. Have a great holiday weekend this weekend. Stay safe.
I'm the first one to believe it.
Oh, yeah?
I don't understand why people think we do it.
The meeting would never end without you, Terry.
It was not as big a hurry.
Pardon me?
I think we're not as quite as big a